live. We're going to do this for NFP. We're doing it for the jobs data. Let's see how it goes. Maybe we'll stay on till the opening as well. So let's just wait for everyone to come in, let everyone say hi, and then we can carry on. So go ahead and put in your votes. Let's see what happens with today's NFP. My bet is still we're going to get about over 100K. That's my bet. We're crossing 100,000. Maybe even 150,000. Seems more likely for me. So we'll follow it live with you guys. This one's our first jobs data live, so it should be pretty good. Fun. As of now, NASDAQ's looking 165 points up. So that is something to keep in mind. I'm currently looking at that. Let's see what happens. Let me just go in and put in a comment and let me pin that in so we have that going. That will then be simpler. Let's look at what else is happening. At the moment, it's still looking like we should be hitting about 150,000 on the NASDAQ. So everybody just go and say hi, see what's going on. Let's see what else is happening. I'm trying a new place at the moment. We're going to do this again at 9 a.m. Eastern every day. We're about 12 minutes out. So let's see what else is going to go through. My bet is still on 150K. So let's see. This is going to be fun though. Let me just go in and put in the comment that I had. Go ahead, guys. Everyone just say hi in the chat. We still got 10-12 minutes to kill. So we'll finish that. As of now, you're looking at the 10-year yield at 4.4. You're looking at the NASDAQ up about 167. Most stocks are up pre-market. You had one scenario where Tesla was up about 8% in overnight when I was having a look at it. Right now, it's up about 4.19%. So let's see what's going to happen about that. Everything looks pretty cool. Just comment if you guys are able to hear me clearly and you're able to see me also clearly. So I know that everything's good on that end. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, so let's look at Tesla because that's the one that's gone a bit crazy. We're up only about 4%, 4.34%. So it's still looking pretty okay. It was up 8% in overnight markets. Now it's up about 4.33. So let's see how it turns out. So we're going to do this every Monday to Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you switch that bell icon on so you get to know every time I go live. We do about an hour live every day. Now we have some form of a group that joins along with us. And that's what's going to be happening every trading day at about 9 a.m. We'll push it through till markets open at 9:30, and then we'll push the 9:30 all the way up to 10 o'clock. And some days, if we have like a lot more people joining in, we'll push it longer. But let's see. I'm shifting it from the 7:30 post market to now during market hours. So a lot more of the people from the United States, it'll be easier for them to join in as well. So yeah, we did one live in the morning today. So we let everyone know to come in for the evening jobless data. So let's get Sean says, what makes you think that the non-farm is going to come higher? So one of the reasons why I believe that the non-farm is going to come higher is because I don't see job losses improving or increasing, for the matter of fact. I don't see on Google Trends as well. It doesn't look like anybody's currently searching for unemployment at this time. Initial jobless claims also haven't really picked up. They're still in the 250K number and below. So the one that you got yesterday or day before yesterday was about 247. So that's not actually worrisome at all. So let's see. As in, this is just my bet, gun to my head. I think you're going to see a good number. But let me answer your question with one of the things that I just saw. So Donald Trump just tweeted saying he's not interested in talking to Musk, and they're not going to be having a call. So that's that. But he already did say that the payroll, I'm pretty sure that he knows what the payroll report is, because Donald Trump just tweeted saying prices are down, income is up, our border is closed, gasoline is cheap, inflation is dead, our country is booming, companies are pouring into America like never before. So let me make this simple, right? I don't think he would have come out with this tweet. In my essence, to answer your question, Sean, he might have come up with this tweet post the non-farm payroll number. The fact that he's come before the non-farm payroll number, I'm pretty sure he knows the number beforehand. And they usually do. The president gets it a day before. So it's not rocket science for him to be able to get it an hour early, right? Matthew, what's up? Nice to see you in. I missed you on the live in the morning, but good to catch up with you today. What's your hit on the number? What do you think is going to be happening? Are we getting above 150? So I'm still looking at this, and let's see what happens with this. And I'm not really sure if, I mean, it's just one of these things, right? Donald Trump coming and tweeting out and letting us know that, everything's down, prices are down, income is up, border is closed, gasoline is cheap. For me, it's just a giveaway as to knowing that, now, I mean, the number could come below 100K and we could all be spooked. But I think if we get a strong number this time, we get about 150 to 200 or anywhere around those levels, even higher. I think we're pretty certain that we should be hitting, I would say, higher numbers for sure. At least on the stock prices, right? At least on the market in general. What are you saying? No, it's okay. Let me try increasing the volume. Maybe that will help. Anyway, so let's see how this thing turns out. I mean, we got maybe 5 minutes more, so eventually everyone will tune in and then have a few questions. Markets are going to go a bit crazy, that I'm certain about. So not much we can do at the moment, but just let me know if you can hear me clearly. Just comment at the chats, just comment, say hi, and let me know if you're able to hear me clearly, because I'm just trying to test out this new place. Otherwise we'll go back to our old place and figure things out. Let's go see what else is happening. I mean, we had Lululemon earnings today. They did drop by about 21%, so that was a bad one. Also, we had some news on which the market did rally, which was that Trump and Musk were going to be speaking, and there were some White House sources that eventually came in and said that that's not going to be happening. There is no call between the two of them. So at the moment, that's the news of the day. I'm not really certain if anything great happens. For some reason, I heard news which came out which said that Russia was looking into all of trying to sort out the Trump-Musk debate. I'm not really sure how Russia is going to be solving that, but I guess if you can't get a ceasefire, they're going to sort this out. So maybe this is it, right? Nice to see wage freedom in the house. Good that it's totally clear and loud enough. Perfect. It's just a bit loud here, so I was guessing whether you can hear me clearly or not. But nice to see you in on this. I think a few of the guys that come in for the early morning calls, which is late evening, they might tune in as well. So we got pretty well going right now. 4 minutes to go. We should be. Anyway, so let me just answer a bit of Sean's question as well. Why is my bet not just on the fact that Donald Trump tweeted out before all of this happened that he's bullish? One of it is that I'm for some reason of this belief that the economy is not slowing. The economy does not look like it's cratering, and neither does the economy look like it's in a free fall just because everyone at this moment is worried about it. So job losses are not picking up because we would see that happening on initial jobless claims. Not happening right at this moment. You're not even seeing it in unemployment claims. They're very low. I mean, let me be honest, even a 250K number on the unemployment claims, on the initial jobless claims, if you go back from the 1970s till the 2020s, those are average numbers that you've been seeing. So, and you've seen that even during expansionary times. So it's not something that is pretty much, I would say, anything to worry about. It is the speed with which you get to a higher number. It's never the case as to does 240K become 280K over 6 months? It's nothing to worry. If 240K jobless claims becomes 265 to 70K jobless claims within a week or 2 weeks, now that is something to worry about, because then you're basically looking at how is it that so many job losses are happening pretty quickly, right? So just something to keep in mind. Anyways, we're 2 minutes out. We're looking at an unemployment rate at 4.2%. We're looking at a non-farm employment change at 126,000. We're looking at average hourly earnings at 0.3%, which is improving from a 0.2. Now, my bet, 150K on non-farm employment, about 4.2% on the unemployment rate. I don't think the unemployment rate's also heading up. I would be surprised if you see a 4.4, maybe a 4.3 is par for course as well. If you get anything above 150 on the unemployment numbers, I think it's going to be a good day. You get anything over 200, I think there's enough reason for us to know that the S&P heads higher. So anyways, you have a minute and 35 seconds. So let's see how this plays out. Whatever it is, it's going to be fun. As in, one of the things that I was talking to another very close friend of mine this morning was about how the Musk and Trump feud is just so much more noise than required, and how it's just going to get solved. And it was a great buying opportunity, and maybe you get a lower price and you can buy in as well. But the fact that it's up about 4%, it was up 8% in overnight markets. So that's saying something, right, about the whole fight. I think they just got some bromance that went a little bit crazy, but I think they'll eventually sort it out. Anyways, 45 seconds to go, guys. This might be an important number. I usually don't spend too much time looking at this. The only reason why I'm trying to see if this number gets worse than the previous numbers is purely because we'll now be on a path of deteriorating economy numbers. The ADP number was bad, but again, you can have ADP numbers bad and non-farm having a great number as well. Anyway, so as soon as I get the numbers, I'll just drop it in so you guys know what it is as well. 126K is what we're looking at, and 4.2%. If we break down below the 100K number, trust me, the S&P 500 will shit in its pant. All right, so let's see, about any moment now. So 4.2% for the unemployment, 126K is what we're expecting, 139K, so we beat on the non-farm employment. 126 was expected, 139, not a bad number at all. Let's see how the unemployment and the average hourly earnings comes in. 4.2 is what we're expecting. So 4.2 on the unemployment, so there you go. The economy is not collapsing like everyone's been complaining about it. We should start seeing a move on the index higher. Yeah, there you go. 244 points on the NASDAQ. You're up 1.12%. This is what we were saying even on the live in the morning. It's not so crazy. 21,714 on the NASDAQ. Let me just go ahead and get the numbers. Average hourly earnings have increased 0.2% previously, now 0.4%. The average hourly earnings month on month have doubled. They were at 0.2%, they're at 0.4%. No reason at all for me to look at this and be like the economy is having an issue. Nothing whatsoever. I have a feeling maybe this week, which is pretty much ending today, but who knows, maybe even today you might see a 2% move on the S&P 500. As of now, the NASDAQ still looks 1.15% up. You will start seeing a lot of the high beta stocks pick up as well. And that is something that is currently going on, right? US payrolls increased 139,000 in May, more than expected. Unemployment at 4.2%. So there's only one thing that comes out of this, right? Stocks go higher. There's nothing more than this at this moment. You saw the volatility index, which was at about 18.519 in early trading, down to about 17.44. So absolutely nothing for me to look into this and be like, we're heading into a worse time. And this was what I was saying, right? Sean was asking me the same question, saying, what makes you think that non-farm is going to come higher? This is it. The fact that President Trump came out and tweeted earlier than usual saying, everything looks good, prices are down, inflation's down, gasoline's down, everything's cheap, America's booming. I felt somewhere that, yeah, this number is going to be more bullish than usual. And people were expecting a worse number, but there were signs. The market whisper was of a number below 100 as well. 135, way par for the course. All right. You should see the markets head higher, but you could have some movements. It could get volatile as well. So at this moment, let's just go ahead. Let's look at it. So the consensus was 125,000. US labor May non-farm payrolls came in at plus 139,000. The unemployment rate was expected at 4.2%, came in at 4.2%. Average hourly earnings was expected to be at 0.2% higher. It came in at 0.42% higher. So year on year, average hourly earnings has increased by 3.87%. So people have been earning more money for the hours that they put in. You don't usually see that in a recessionary or an economy that is going to be entering a recession. You don't see average hourly earnings pick up. You do see number of hours that people work increase while their pay remains the same. So US May average work week unchanged at 34.3, labor force participation rate at 62.4%. April payrolls have been revised to plus 147K. So let's just go back and see what were they. So previously they were at 147. The number earlier was about 177. So that's been dropped by 30,000. So that's something to look into, because you're seeing employment for the previous month dropped by 30,000 from what they were. And March has been revised to 120. So let's go see what March was at. March was at 151, so that's also dropped to another 25. So there have been revisions to the downside. So this is something that you should look at. The number is good for right now, but what I would have expected is these revisions to not be so detrimental. If you do see the markets go lower today, you know the reason why that is going to be, and that's purely because you are looking at revisions being lower than a lot of what people were expecting. You don't see revisions dropping that much, but the fact that unemployment rate has been staying steady and at 4.2%, for me, that's more important to me than the non-farm payroll numbers. All right. So but here's the other side of the story. Everyone that was expecting Powell to come in and cut, it's not going to happen. All right. It is highly unlikely for him to be cutting. It's a very strong economy. We might have had a speed bump in stock prices because of the tariffs, some amount in the ports of LA and on the East Coast when it comes to shipments. Other than that, it is absolutely smooth. No one lost their job because we had tariffs of 150% on China for 3 weeks. No one lost their job. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. No one lost their job because you had China tariffs at 145% for 3 weeks. Just something to think over before everybody starts screaming that the world is crashing. So high beta stocks are picking up. Let's see what the FANG stocks are doing. You're looking at NVIDIA up about 1.33%, closer to 141.85. So again, let's go have a look at what Tesla's been doing, because I mean it's gonna not have that much of an impact. Yeah, 4.7%. I mean Tesla has its own issues to deal with at this moment, so they need their bromance to get back together for both of them to be happy. At the moment, the USD yen is what I was expecting to start bottoming out. I think we're going to begin seeing somewhere around the markets go higher next week as well. And then the week after that, we should start slowing down, because remember, June 13th to June 20th will be something called as triple witching. I spoke about this in the live in the morning. So for everyone that's just coming in, remember that triple witching is going to be something to look into. It's usually not bullish when the market has been bullish for the previous week, right? Hi Wahab, nice to see you in again. Wahab joined with us in the morning as well, so that's cool. Good numbers in Wahab. 137k, market's been moving higher. So for anyone that wants to know what triple witching is, because it can help you when you're trading, triple witching is basically a scenario where you get the weekly, monthly and quarterly options expiration happen on the same date, and that happens every quarter. So June 13th is the last Friday before which we have an expiry. June 20th is the date when options expire. So up until June 13th, if the month has been bullish, as of now the month has been bullish for us, and hopefully it continues being bullish up till the 13th. Usually if it's bullish up till the 13th, the trading days from the 14th, 15th being a Saturday, Sunday, from the 16th of June to the 20th of June, most likely would be bearish. That doesn't mean you have a crash incoming. What that means is you could have a stagnation in prices, or you could see prices heading a bit lower. That's about it. You're not going to see markets go down 7-8% just because of triple witching. Triple witching causes volatility. Go ahead and Google it. I'm going to try putting it out here on the chat as well, so you guys are able to go ahead and maybe you guys can check it out whenever you all want to learn a few things. And for all of you that believe you'll have learned something, go ahead and like and subscribe. We're going to be doing this now, not at the previous 7:30 p.m. Eastern that we have been doing. We're going to shift it now to a morning schedule. So every time pre-market happens, we're going to come in at about 9 p.m. is when we come into our pre-market. 9:30 markets would open, and at 10 we basically call it quits. We'll do an hour. Maybe if there's more people and we have some questions, we can push it for another 15 minutes or half an hour. Let's see. We still got shit to do. So at the moment, that's what we're looking at. Let me just go over one of those questions. Sean says, the call that Trump had with Xi, you think would lead to a positive outcome or more uncertainty? That's a good question. I don't really think it will lead to more uncertainty. What I do believe is that it is leading to more simplicity. I don't think the reason for their call was based on anything related to rare earth minerals. That could have been sorted out very easily. I think it was more the Chinese making it tougher for Americans to deal with. And based on that, what I believe is that Trump basically came out and said that, hey, you guys are screwing me in the trade deal. I need a win. So I'm going to try screwing you by saying that you're not being a part of this trade deal. You're basically making it tough, and you're a tough negotiator, and they're not following on their promises, and same old bullshit, right? But anyways, it's just negotiation at the end of the day. Just look at it that way. Don't lose sleep over it. At the moment, from whatever I have been able to gauge about what's happening with the administration and markets, is if you are inverse of whatever is currently going on, if the market is bearish because the news in the administration and on Twitter is bearish, you should be bullish. If you just trade inverted, you have been making money until now. So no reason why that's going to stop. So the Trump Xi call, I think, is just something that is going to eventually work out. I've been saying this since before. I think the easiest country for America to have a trade deal with is going to be the Chinese. I don't see the Chinese as being an issue. Because at the end of the day, if that one man, the party chair, President Xi, decides that he wants to get a deal done, the deal gets done. It's plain and simple. You don't need 1,000 people's approvals to get anything done like the way we need it in America. So just something to keep again, right? One of the things that I was looking at, yes, the revisions are notable and negative. The previous 2 months were revised down by 95,000. There is less momentum in the market than initially reported. Moreover, we should have more confidence in those months since the response rate is substantially higher. So I'm not sure, but Nick Timmerose from Wall Street Journal just tweeted, and I do follow him because he has an eye and a ear in the Fed. He's pretty close to Powell. When they had the jumbo cut come in of 50 basis points, it was Nick Timmerose from Wall Street Journal that basically leaked it out on Wall Street. So he says, I've kept an eye on the permanent job losers series. It was basically unchanged in May at 1.92 million or 1.12 of the labor force. It's been creeping up, but very gently over the last couple years. So if that was the case and permanent job losses were happening, you would have seen that tick up a lot more, especially considering the fact that we had tariffs come in, and tariffs would have caused in a lot of disruption, not just in the ports and not just in people's orders, but also within permanent job losers. That's not been happening. So anyone that's basically telling you guys that America is entering a recession or is in a recession or things are getting bad, I think they're just on Twitter, right? Or the only news they get is on Instagram through all of the Trump tweets. And it's just uncertainty that they believe in. Our job is not to look into any of that stuff. Our job is to purely just look and see how do we make money out of these things, right? We don't really give a damn about anything else. It's not in our interest to do that. Anyways, we've given the markets a bit of a time. So let's see, we're still up 1.18%. If we needed any form of a move lower, we could have seen it come through by now. As of now, still 1.2% higher, 21,730 on the NASDAQ. Volatility index down to 17.32. NVIDIA up 1.27%. High beta still moving higher. Stocks look good for a move higher today. It should be a pretty good day, unless and until you have some nonsense happening again in the White House, like Sean says, Elon losing it, right? I think it was just maybe a little bit more of the stuff that he usually takes. Don't see, because in a few hours he had already caved in and he was like, okay, the dragon ship is going to be beginning again. I mean, it's just plain ass noise, man. I mean, for whom it benefited is, for anyone that thought that this is noise and went in and bought Tesla, you're going to sleep well tonight knowing that you've made more money. I'm just trying to see if there was anything else within the data that happened. So one of them, right, Peter Navarro from the White House is considered to be pretty bearish because he's been the tariff man that's been always there trying to increase tariffs and talk about tariffs on countries. Peter Navarro comes out and says that he expects US-China meeting to take place within 7 days. Another bullish thing. Whenever they meet, the Chinese and Americans are never going to walk out of a meeting saying nothing good has happened. It's just part of the way it happens, man. I mean, guys, you just have to learn to see through these things and just move on. I'm just trying to see if we have any more information that's currently going on. Trump says he's not interested in talking to Musk. So that is something that we're looking at. Let's see, we have another question in. So all in all, a bullish signal, perfect time to start investing. I think the perfect time to start investing was a while back. But if it's investments that you're looking at, every day is better. Start today, if not yesterday. And go ahead and buy companies that you use on a daily basis. Always, that's one thing that I keep saying to everyone that asks me, where should I invest? Buy the phone brand that you use, buy the subscriptions that you use, your Netflix, Spotify, Disney, anything else. Like if you're drinking Coca-Cola, buy Coca-Cola. It's just simple for you to buy those things. Then you can start looking in and thinking of diversifying into, some of these quantum computing and NVIDIAs of the world, which you have no idea what's going on there, right? So if you're genuinely new to this stuff, give yourself some time, stick out of it, see what happens with the markets, and invest in companies that you know, have heard of. You can always just go ahead and just type in to whatever stock you're interested in, spacebar stock. You'll get a stock price, see how it's been doing over the past 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, and buy the stock, right? Don't buy it more than you can chew, so don't go in with so much more money, and don't go leverage. It's not required. If you still want to have casino like feelings in the stock market, go ahead and trade some options with like 5% of your money. So whenever you lose, you know you can lose only 5%. Never do a margin, never do leverage. Stay away from it as much as you can. So the unemployment rate in has been picking up, but it's very low. It's for the month of May, it was at 4.244, which is why we rounded it off to 4.2. If it was just up 0.01% higher, we would have rounded it up to 4.3%. That could have caused the market to move lower. So you give it some time, let the market steady itself once it opens. My still belief is that I think by next week we should be heading towards all-time highs. That's my bet. If I had a gun to my head, that would be my judgment. All-time highs are going to be coming next week, but I'm prepared even if they don't. So it doesn't matter to me at the end of the day. It's just something I look at, something that I'm interested in. You get a lot more animal spirits and a lot more people joining in to the rally when you start seeing new highs come through. So that is something to look forward to. Some of these stocks, one of them that I want to go and look at is if there has been any move. Amazon's up about 2%. Broadcom was down about 4.5-5% in pre-market as well as in overnight market, because their earnings were very, very good, but they were expecting it to be a lot better. That's just how analysts play their game. Anyways, as of now, the pre-market is down only 2.2%. My bet you're going to start seeing Broadcom go into the green very soon. Maybe today, maybe next week. When that happens, you're also going to start seeing Nvidia pick up. And when Nvidia starts moving up, all of these things start pushing together. The S&P 500 will also eventually start heading a lot higher and potentially leading up to an all-time high. So here's the fun fact, right? Anyone 2 months back that sat down and said tariffs are here, markets are pricing in an entire fall that's currently happening. You're looking at the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ down 20% in April, right? The first week of April. If you had to tell someone that within 2 months or 2.5 months, you're going to start be 2% away from an all-time high, and maybe in less than 3 months post the tariffs, you would be hitting an all-time high, people would have thought you're retarded, literally. But this is how the markets are. So it's important to not sit and time when you're buying, when you're selling, unless you're an exceedingly great investor and a very strong, professional, well-trained and well-experienced investor. Until you're not there, you don't need to be doing this timing game. Just spend time in the market rather than timing when to buy and when to sell. So don't lose sleep over that. It's not required. Lululemon was down about 22, 23, is now down about 18.9, 19%. They had bad earnings. Most of their revenue, which does come from America, they started to see deceleration there. A lot of people are not necessarily going in to buy Lululemon. We had a question in the morning as well about Lululemon, which was the fact that are we seeing some form of consumer slowdown because people are beginning to spend less in Lululemon? I think Lululemon's in the same game as what a Nike is. A lot of people are looking at Alo and Viore and buying from those companies, and that's why their sales are increasing while Lululemon sales are decreasing. It does not have anything to do with Lululemon itself has an issue of itself. It does not have anything to do with the consumer reducing spending. If that was the case, even Alo's sales would have dropped, Viore's sales would have dropped, On and Hoka's sales would have dropped, and Nike wouldn't be the only one that's affected. So yeah, great numbers is pretty much what we were expecting. I mean, Let me just go over and see some of those votes. We have 6 votes and 130 to 160,000. That's been there, and that's been currently there. Sharik, nice to see you in the chat. You got the number pretty right. I'm hoping you were expecting a good result as well. So we're seeing that play out as well. Unemployment rate stays steady at 4.2. Sharik, you're looking at 140,000 on the NASDAQ as well, on the unemployment numbers as well. So non-farm came out well, unemployment came out well, average hourly earnings picked up, doubled. They were expected to be 0.2 when they were expected at 0.3. The previous numbers were at 0.2, it came in at 0.4. So markets have headed higher. This is something that I said in the morning as well. I'm expecting that if I do see a fall on Tesla, instead of a 4% higher, I do see a move lower. That would be one reason why I would go in and start buying Tesla in the next week. I think if things get worse on that front, I am going to start buying, right? I think they already made up, bro. I'm pretty sure they already made up. Mom and dad have made up. Mom and dad have decided that they're going to talk with each other. One of them is going to be spending their spaceships to Mars, while the other guy has decided that he's going to deal with China. And keep in mind with this one thing, right? Dad is currently, especially President Trump, has not wasted his time. He's basically come out and said that, so he did, right, Sharik? He did come out and say that I'm not having a call with you anymore, and I'm not interested in having a call with you. So there's no call happening now. That story is ended. And he realizes he's the president, right? So he's not going to bend down to Elon for sure. When he needed him, he used him, and then that's it. Story's over. So Elon's either got to grow a pair and decide that, okay, dad's not listening to me, so it's time to go ahead and do my thing. And that's currently looking more likely, the scenario. I don't really think it's going to be too much of an issue, but I do believe that if Tesla heads lower, it is going to be a very, very nice buying opportunity, because eventually either Musk shuts up with all of this, or they make out and then they're happy, right? So don't see a reason why that's happening. Jason, nice to see you, buddy. Good morning, good night, wherever you are. It's a nice evening for us here. But Kevin's been joining in as well, and we've been saying that now we're going to shift this from a 7:30 p.m. Eastern to a 9 a.m. Eastern. We're going to do 30 minutes of pre-market, 30 minutes to 45 minutes of post-market opening. So we're going to be live in the action every day, Monday to Friday. We're not doing our Saturday, Sundays anymore. I'm going to spend some time researching on a few stocks and doing a lot more research at the background. So on Monday when we meet, I can go in deeper with you guys in the stocks. So at the moment, that's the story. Look at it from that angle. We're coming in live at about 9:30 a.m. New York City time. So look forward to all of you joining in at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So let me just go in and put that in, right? Live sessions at 9:30 a.m. Oh, well, let's go at 9 a.m. Sorry, 9 a.m. Eastern every weekday, and it's going to be fun. We'll go in pre-market. We're going to go higher as well. Oh yeah, I think so, Jason. You're right. Maybe 6,000. It is SPY 600 numbers coming in. I think you were holding calls as well, right? So I'm pretty sure. Give me the name of the bar that I'm going to be meeting you at, and that's where we're going. That's where we celebrate. All right, we've been saying this, man. In all honesty, it's been about 2 weeks. I've been harping on this same story all over again. All right. This is just becoming a complete joke with the Tesla thing. President Trump now reportedly considering selling his Tesla. And you know what he's going to do? He's going to now auction it off, sell it off at some crazy price. And I have like zero idea what's going on here, but it's just funny at this point. So, Sharik, coming back to your story, mom and dad seem to be still having a fight going. It's not solved. President Trump is considering selling or giving away the red Tesla that he had purchased earlier this year. Trump bought the vehicle as a part of a photo op. The car will still be parked outside the West Wing. I don't know, man. Like, it is just so much nonsense that it is beyond hilarious at this point of time. Anyways, we got bigger fish to fry here. I'm just trying to go and look. Lululemon was down about 20. Broadcom is going to be something that I'm going to look at because I want to see they had a pre-market drop and now I want to see what's going to happen. They're still down 2% from what I remember last seeing, down about 2.74. My bet is it might turn into the green by close. If we have a green close on the S&P and higher and above 600, and when Jason's going to make his money on his calls, I'm pretty sure Broadcom's going to be heading a lot higher, and that would be a good reason to see Nvidia heading up as well. I think Nvidia this month should start seeing a new high as well pick up. Let me see what Jason's saying, right? He can't wait for this rip and my calls to be in green. It has bounced enough at the 6,000 level. Time to break it. Yeah, you're right. I've been waiting for it also. We were a bit pessimistic with the standpoint yesterday of the fall that happened. But you know what? It's just one day in the whole scenario. So Tesla was down about 14% as of yesterday, down to about 17% in intraday yesterday. It was up about 8% in overnight markets. Now it's up about 3.5. So it is losing its steam. Basically what I've realized is that Trump still wants Elon to pay for what he did. And let's see. At this moment, Jason, your calls are going to be doing pretty well. That I'm certain about, at least in opening. All right. We also should be getting a few of the S&P 500 inclusions today, right? I think Wahab and me were talking about this, that Robinhood might be the one that gets added. I don't think Trade Desk would get added. It's not even part of the thought process at the moment. Viva is another company that could get added. From what I remember reading about it, pretty well run company. So I think they should have a chance to get in. And if Robinhood gets in, then everyone's going to go to wherever Wahab is and then we party there. That's the plan. And let me go see actually what happened to Hood. Yeah, we're up at 74.26 at the moment in pre-market, another 2.4% higher for Robinhood. So all looking good at the moment. Nothing to really complain about. There was nothing in the data for me to even get worried about. But if I have to play devil's advocate, one of the things that I am looking at is the revisions that have taken place. So the revisions have been lower by about 90,000 jobs that have reduced on the downside for the previous 2 months. So that's never a good sign. Keep a watch on it. Celebrate the wins. Celebrate every day that the market goes up. But at the same time, remember that you also do want to keep an eye out for any bad news that happens. Few things that I'm looking at: initial jobless claims about 255, 260. That is one number that I'm looking at. Unemployment rates picking up to 4.3%. We're not getting that this month, maybe next month, right? And maybe so, because we were at 4.244. So they're always adjusted to the whole number. So at 4.25, we would become a 4.3 unemployment rate. One other bullish thing that can possibly happen is Powell would be coming out and speaking pretty well for the economy. At the same time, he would also be coming in and stating that he cannot cut at the moment because he's awaiting to see what the effects of the tariffs are. So he's going to harp on the same story, but two things changed since his last speech. Inflation's lower and jobs are better. So there's no reason for him to be a bear at this moment, right? Yeah, so Jason, they did come out, which is why we're seeing the market go up. They came in at 139,000. Unemployment rate stuck at 4.2, and our average hourly earnings. And I truly believe that larger than the unemployment rate and non-farm employment change is the average hourly earnings that's picking the market up. It was at about a 0.2%. We expected it to be at 0.3, and now we're at 0.4. So what you're seeing is that people working for the same number of hours because the work week didn't change, and people getting paid for on a higher basis. So at the moment, that's what's happening. Jason says, joined your stream, which was lagging behind, had to refresh. Sorry about that, man. But yeah, so we're doing that only today at about 8:15. Otherwise, we're going to be doing it at 9 a.m. Like I said, we only did it today at 8:15, 15 minutes before jobs data came in. This was, and I might do this for every jobs data just because it's fun, and all of us can just join in together. But otherwise, we're going to be doing it at 9 a.m. every day. So Jason, join in for the 9 a.m. calls exactly the way you used to join in for the 7:30 evening calls. We're just shifting it now to the mornings in America. It'll be a bit different for me, but I think we'll get a lot more people, as more people, more questions, more fun. That's the plan. I truly believe that we'll be able to, even if at the end of all of this we can help one person, it's a job well done. Let me just go over and see if any of the S&P 500 stocks have been going crazy. Yeah, Tesla still 3.68. We're about half an hour for market open, so I would like to see if there's follow through of buying on the way up or on the way down. That happens, we do get a dump that comes in. That would be pretty fascinating because yesterday was a bad day. Let's be honest about that. Not just because of the Trump and Musk thing, but also because some form of exhaustion was happening. We did see a pullback, but you know what? Economic data trumps everything, right? It pretty much trumps Trump as well at this moment, who's not been able to decide what all wars is he going to be fighting. And that's how I'll talk to you guys about that in about a few minutes. But let me just go over and see what the bond yields are doing, because that's an important thing that I do want to talk to you guys about, which is the effect of the internal feuds currently happening within the White House and the administration and how that affects us. And it's a pretty different take to most people. Anyway, so the bond yields are up to 4.472 because now they're expecting a strong US economy. So in all seriousness, guys, 21,733 on the NASDAQ, NVIDIA up about 1.39%. I mean, on days when you can see Starbucks up 1%, you know it's a good day, right? It's been pretty dead for all these years. High beta has been up as well. Let me see what Jason says. Jason says, we'll be at my office with headphones listening to Signal Sentiment. Might give a shout out to my team's group for my colleagues. There you go, bro. Anytime. Anytime. Right, that'll be fun though, Jason. We should be doing that, man. We gotta let Kevin know as well to join in the mornings. And it looks pretty good as of now. Nothing to worry about. It's a good day. Enjoy your Friday nights, man. This is going to be a fun night. Friday is going to be a lot more fun than usual, just because of all of this. So anyways, let me come back to that story that I was trying to tell you in the morning, which was about this scenario that is playing out in everybody's head that, oh, it's going to get bearish because there's so much uncertainty at this moment. You know what, guys? This is what's happening. Trump's wars at his moment within his country are these. He's got a tax bill that's not getting cleared because of all the issues that's there, not just with Musk, but it's got issues anyways from senators are not passing it. We have issues with USMCA, which is Canada and Mexico, right? I'm taking North America as a whole. Third, he has issues that's currently going on with Elon, which just came up as of yesterday. Now he has these three internal issues that are currently playing out, and Trump at this moment needs a win. Remember one thing, the tweet that he came out with right now. Let me just go back to that tweet because it's an important tweet. The tweet that Trump came out with, which said that incomes are higher, jobs are better, the economy is roaring, right? And I'm paraphrasing. He says prices are down. He says income is up. He says border is closed. He says gasoline is cheap. Inflation is dead. And he says our country is booming. Companies are pouring into America like never before. When he's saying those things, it basically means that he needs a win. He wants to make sure that he wins something at this moment, and he has nothing to show for now. He doesn't have a trade deal. He doesn't have the Elon thing sorted out. He doesn't have the Supreme Court trade tariff sorted out. He doesn't have pretty much anything going for him. So he needs a win somehow. So please do remember that in order for him to get something going for himself, at this moment, he needs one trade deal, maybe the China tariffs that go away. Remember, it was at Trump's request that Donald Trump and President Xi spoke. It was not at the Chinese request. It was on Donald Trump's request. These things are sort of signals that are important. At Trump's request, he wants to speak to President Xi. He comes out and says that we're best friends, we love each other, we're so great, and all of that. Again, I'm paraphrasing. Don't go by my words. I'm just saying what happened, right? The fact that he's been saying all of these things clearly tells you that the guy needs a win. He needs people to support him. He's losing support globally as well as internally. He needs something to get his people back riled up saying how great he is. So you're going to see trade deals happen very soon. You're going to see markets go up very soon. Remember, he's going to be the first guy that, before all of us know we're at all-time highs, it's going to be his tweet that comes in. So remember that. It's not something that's going to be magical. It is going to happen. It's now or never, but it is going to happen. Oh my God. Anyways, at this moment, it's just, there's something else that's been happening with all of this buy the dip mentality, where the retail traders are basically screwing around with the hedge funds and institutions. Every dip that you're seeing is getting bought out. My belief, 10 years from now, even 5-7 years from now, retail will have a very large portion and a very large effect, a larger effect than most people can imagine compared to hedge funds and institutions. It is a depleting force, and the hedge fund world is not going to be the hedge fund world that we know 10 years from now. The institutional trading world is not going to be the institutional trading world it is. Retail is going to take over a large portion, and Robinhood and all of these other companies are to thank for that as well. So that is something that I am pretty much looking at. Anyways, for all of you that's joining in, just make sure that you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys are putting in that notification. We're going live next on Monday at 9 a.m. New York City time. So keep that in mind. I'm not shutting the live as of now, but we're currently still 9:30 New York time is when everything goes live. Oh, sorry, 9 a.m. New York time. So go ahead, subscribe, just switch on your bell and notifications and everything else that's required to be done. We should be shooting another video tomorrow, and I'll put that up over the weekend so you guys can go watch that. Not too long, maybe about a 20-25 minute video. Just a few lessons of investing, but it'll be a cracker, right? Sean and Nikhil are going to join me for that. They most likely will join me even for some of these live sessions. So you guys can meet the other guys on the team as well, ask them a few questions as well. It'll be fun, a lot more interactive. And eventually we're going to get you guys in on live calls as well, because it's just a lot more fun to see you guys. And then basically eventually we can build some form of a, or like I always say, for lack of a better word, a cult, right? So go ahead, subscribe, do all of that. We basically, at all points of time at 9 a.m. Monday to Friday, go in and go live. So do that. Let me just go back and finish this. But Jason says the shit is teasing 6,000 level. Do you see a little drop off intraday? I want to take profit out, but I'm not sure where. Around thoughts. Buddy, I'm not really that great with intraday trading, even though I am very good at it, which is me just not wanting to tell you, trying to be modest here. But anyways, my bet is if you take out yesterday's high, hold on. If you're not able to take out yesterday's high in the first hour of trading, I would take my profits, because remember, this is something I've learned. I've done trading for about 17 years, 16 years now. The market's there tomorrow as well. The market's there a week later, a month later, 6 months later. The question is, are you going to be there with the whole game? Are you still going to be there with your money? So taking a profit is never a bad idea, especially if it's trading money and not investing money, right? If you were investing in the S&P or the triple Qs, that would be a separate story. Considering that it's a trade for you, look at it from that angle. Sometimes it is better to take your money. It's a bitter pill to swallow if the market goes higher, but a profit's a profit, and you can always come in late, right? Who knows, man? You might get a Saturday, Sunday where everybody just suddenly, Trump just comes out and says, hey, you know what? All the tariffs are back on. I don't like anybody in this world. Elon's made me sad, and he doesn't want to meet me. We don't want to talk to each other. You see everything go crazy. Who knows, man? You never know. So that's just something to keep in mind. The world's an erratic place at this moment. So take your profits when you can, especially if you're sitting on sizable profits now. And I'm pretty sure that you went in long quite a while back. Like by quite a while, I mean a week or 2 weeks back, considering you're trading, and you got calls, right? So not a bad decision to be taking some money off. Or you know what? Sometimes when I actually have these questions to myself, saying, should I sell? Should I not sell? This is what I do. It's made me smarter over the years in terms of booking profits. I take half. I always take half, and I take the other half to my entry price. So I never lose money, and I'm also in the game if the market moves higher. So just something that I have always done is, if I'm trading, markets go higher, I take half, especially when I doubt whether it can go higher and higher. And on the other side, if it moves lower, then my entry is my stop loss. Anyways, so keep that in mind. It's just a way to trade. It's not necessarily the right way to trade, but it's the way that's worked for me. And it's just the way I have been doing shit, and it's worked for me. I'm guessing it'll work for you as well. At a time of indecision, when you believe markets are going higher or lower, they usually continue in the prevailing trend that they've been in. But do remember that the prevailing trend doesn't necessarily have to be following you at all points of time in all the ways that you expect it to. So sometimes take a profit, man. Just spend it on a few nice things. Go out for a nice meal with everyone that you like or love. It's worth it. I'm just trying to see if there's anything different that's currently happening. Still 262 points on the NASDAQ. I mean, the volatility index has really collapsed. Like, we are below the fall that we had post the tariffs. We're hitting 17 on the volatility index. That was last hit on 16th May. If you're able to break below that and go below 17, maybe to the 16s, we would now be coming in closer to hitting even volatility levels before the market went gangbusters and then collapsed completely because of the tariffs. So just saying, guys, for everyone that's out there calling a bear market, I don't know what you're seeing or what you're smoking, but whatever it is, please do let me know, because I can't see it anywhere at this moment. Maybe you have more information than I do, so then please share that. But if you don't, then I don't see a bear market happening at this moment at all. There is no reason. And here's another thing. For everyone that does believe that recessions happen, let me give you a cheat code to how recessions happen. Recessions always happen in a similar fashion. All global markets need to head lower, and they need to stop making new highs. There is no country-specific recession in a globalized world that we live in. It's not possible. It does not happen that way, and it won't. While the market in America was heading lower, most global markets were already higher, and some of them were even hitting new highs. For a matter of fact, last week or a week and a half back, the German DAX also hit a new high. You don't see countries or indices in countries hitting new highs while America is going to enter its self-isolated recession. It's not going to happen that way. This is a cheat code that will help you in your life whenever you want to know that recessions are incoming or not. Global markets, the MSCI All Country World Index, the ACWI, right? Indices of the biggest emerging markets, maybe not emerging, but at least developed markets. So you're going to look at Germany, you're going to look at Japan, you're going to look at America, you're going to look at the FTSE in London. All of these need to be on their trajectory lower. You cannot have them hitting new highs and the S&P 500 lower and being like, okay, America is going to enter its own isolated bear market. It doesn't work that way. Okay, and anyone telling you elsewise, prove it to me with data. And if you can't prove it to me with data, then don't talk. But up and until this happens, while everyone scrimped about the recession, one thing that I was clear about was all other global markets were heading higher. America was heading lower. Now, I'm not saying that America has to make sure that they need to recover more and get back to where all the other countries are. So some of the countries, right, like the DAX is up, I think 20% for the year. The DAX is currently at 24,278, an all-time high, right? If you go back and look at it from January, you're looking at somewhere around, on the 1st of January, the German index was at 20,000. You're at 24,000. It's up 20%. You're telling me that Germany, which is one of the most world's largest producing nations, is hitting new highs, and being an export-oriented economy, which is selling cars globally, that the world is entering a recession, but German indices are going higher. You look at the DAX, you look at the FTSE, you look at the other ACWI index, they were all hitting new highs. America was not. While America is now coming year to date back to where it is, these indices are now 20% higher. Now, my belief, by year end, you'll see these two things converge. America could be year to date up maybe 10%, and these guys could be up about 20 or 15 or 18, right? A lot of the return that these economies have also had is because of a weakening dollar, because of the tariff uncertainty that's currently playing out. And it's still there, right? At the end of the day, you still have the tariff uncertainty that's still there. Anyways, long story short, my belief, 65, 6,600 on the S&P 500 should come through. That would be a 10% return for the year. From the lows of 4,800, you're going to be seeing a 2,000 point recovery on the S&P, and I don't think that's ever happened in history. So 65, 6,600, maybe 6,800 that you'll see on the S&P 500 this year, if everything goes. If you don't have any of these tariff tantrums that's going on, markets have done well irrespective of Washington, and it is better when Washington does not try screwing around with these things. It's always beneficial. So if you start seeing the NASDAQ, the S&P 500 head towards 6,600, you'll see a 10% year-to-date improvement on the NASDAQ, right? Even the S&P 500. You'll see a fall in global other economies and global other economic indices, purely because their indices would basically move money back into America to buy America again, right? At the end of the day, listen, anyone coming and other giving you this new bullshit saying that the dollar is going to be changed and we're going to get a new currency and all of that, no one's buying the yuan, no one's buying the renminbi, no one's buying any of those other currencies and devaluing the dollar. It's not going to happen. Sorry to break that news. There is no currency that's going to overtake the US dollar for a while. The euro can come back, maybe the Great Britain pound could come, all of that could happen. It's not happening overnight. Sorry to bust the bubble for a lot of people. The AI bubble is here because of America. The AI bubble will stay because of America. China could come in at number 2, but their currency is not going to overtake the dollar. How many of you guys would actually convert all of your US dollars to the yuan and say, okay, you feel safer, right? So yeah, just keep that in mind. It's otherwise a complete joke. Anyone that's been screaming about all of these recessions and all of that, I'm so tired of listening to this scenario where everyone just kept coming and saying recession incoming, markets are heading lower. Yeah, if you were saying markets were heading lower in March, February, even April, the beginning of April or the end of March, I could have understood why you're saying that, because there could have been some form of uncertainty that was on the horizon. But when you're seeing these tariff rates lower, when you're seeing a lot of these things higher, it's like crazy for me to sit down and believe that, okay, what are you guys even talking about when you're continuously telling me why on earth is there going to be that recession that's coming through? Anyways, let me get what Jason is saying. There is almost yesterday's high. Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, Jason, I mean, That's what I'm just saying this thing, right? This is what I would do, right? At the moment, we're already close to yesterday's high. My bet, I usually take 50% of my profit, play the other remaining profit to my entry price, so I don't lose money under any given scenario. Whatever happens, I don't lose money. If I can not lose money, I win. Plain and simple, right? Sean says we're only 2.10% away basically for it to reach previous highs. Yeah, and I'm not saying that could happen today, but it could happen within a week, maybe in 2 more weeks, maybe this month, right? Quite possible. And this is one of the biggest news. The next biggest news that's going to be coming through is somewhere around June 20th when Chairman Powell meets and they decide on a new summary of economic projections with their new dot plot, deciding on how many cuts and no cuts and this cuts and that cuts and all of that. I've been saying this since quite a while. Nobody wants to trust me. Nobody wants to believe this concept. The Fed not cutting is bullish. I'm repeating that again. The Fed not cutting is bullish. The Fed cutting means there is something going wrong somewhere. I don't mean cuts of 25 basis points. I mean cuts of 100, 150 basis points over 6 months or a year. 25 basis point cuts does not change anything for anybody, plain and simple. 50 basis point cuts, 100 basis point cuts over 2 to 3 meetings, now that's an issue, means something's cracking somewhere, all right? Do you expect that the markets are going to go higher because the Fed says they're going to be cutting because the unemployment rate has picked up and the job market is bad? It's not going to happen that way. Not going to happen. If the job market starts deteriorating, which it has not, as of today's data, we're clearly seeing there's no job market deterioration. If that was the case and the Fed was cutting because it's cutting because of bad economic data. Bad economic data means stock prices go lower. So that's that, Jason. I mean, if I was you, I would take 50% profits. I would leave the remaining 50% as a stop loss at that price. So I would never go to sleep thinking that I'm not part of the party. I'm still part of the party, but one leg is back home. And some money is secured, right? So that's just the way I think, Jason. If you want to risk it, you want to play it all the way, go for it. But if you're of the belief that maybe you can see something head lower, I would take some money. Just make my life a little bit more simpler. Get some better sleep at night. No need to worry about the weekend, what Trump says, what Elon says, what all happens, what doesn't happen. Why even worry about all of that? Right? You know, half your battle has been won and the remaining half is available to you at your stop loss. That's there. Granted, you could have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, post-market closing on Friday or Saturday, Sunday where something goes crazy and you see a 2% market lower. But at the end of it, you would still come out clean knowing that you've taken some money out. Yeah, so what are we looking at? 21,766 on the NASDAQ. Do we have anything else that's currently there on the NASDAQ that's there? Jason says, I want to see the technical indicators first. They might need to cool off for a little bit after open. They might be screaming right now. Yeah, they would, Jason. I mean, they would pretty much be firing on all cylinders. At the moment, if you look at the technical indicators, the RSI is still at 65. It's not even hitting 70. So we're not even at overbought. These are two things that I've learned over time. Markets go higher after they're overbought and markets crash from oversold. Against all popular belief and all popular opinion, that is exactly what happens. So we've got 9 votes and most people had gone for the 130 to 160K. So pretty much everyone got it right. Right. No one that I know has gotten it wrong. So we're a pretty smart bunch of buggers here that joined in. S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100 extend gains to 1%. And this is something to remember. The only thing that lands are planes, not economies. Economies either crash or economies fly too high. Now it sounds fascinating when I say all of that. Is there a weakness under the hood of this report? The unemployment index and the employment report? Yes, there is. The revisions, right? Are short and long-term rates higher than people thought they would be at this time a year or 2 years back? Yes, pretty sure, probably. I would say a lot more people have thought about that. Is that a reason why you should be selling your stocks? No, stupid, right? Bank of America strategist currently comes out and says that today global stocks are close to sell signal, right? Don't trust any of these guys. These are the same guys that came out and have been lowering their S&P 500 targets, and they're the same guys right now that are coming out and increasing their S&P 500 targets while the market's hitting new highs. So I've stopped looking at any of these analyst reports and any of that. It's just one of the last nail in the coffin for me was the previous trade desk report where they missed by 1 million. They've had 33 quarters of outperformance. On that one single $1 million miss when the stock crashed 20%, stock fell from all the way 140 down to about 47. And when that happened, I was like, I'm done with these analysts and their games. I'm just going to go invert everything that they say and I'll make money. And look at trade desk. Trade desk is up from 50 to 71, 72 already. I think it was 77, 78 a few days back as well. There's been this worry when it comes to trade desk that a lot of the dollars are shifting from trade desk to the Amazon DSP. I've been hearing this story since Kingdom has come, but absolutely not. No reason. Anyways, so one good thing is that the PC inflation did come a lot lower long back. We did see that happen towards the end of the previous month. I don't see inflation picking up. And usually that should be something that picks up considering that the tariffs have been affecting us that much. At least the way people have been saying that it's been affecting us that much. I'm not sure. Again, like I say, I'm not sure what people are seeing. I can't see any of that at this moment. What I would be fascinating to see is whether the NASDAQ 100 does hit 22,000. Anyways, we're about just 2 minutes away from market open. But what I want to try seeing is whether we're able to see 22,000 on the NASDAQ and then head higher than 22,000. 22,242 would be a number where we would now be having an all-time high. We're not too far away from that. I remember Sean telling me we're about 2.1%. Just 2.1% higher. So again, like I say, it's going to be fun. So Nvidia is up about 1.8%. I think it should be opening about the 142 levels. If we can take out the 144 levels on Nvidia, I think you might see a 147, 148 level. Maybe even all-time highs, man, pretty soon. So we're just going to hold on. Let's see what happens with the market open. Let's see what's happening there. And then we can call it quits for today when it comes to the live stream. Again, just an update for everyone. We're going to be doing this Monday to Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern every day. So it's going to be fun. So Deekshant comes in, Affirm looking like a beauty. Nice to see you, Deekshant. How's it going? Affirm's a beauty, bro. I've been saying since a while. I think 82 is coming even before people can think about it. But again, it's a highly volatile stock, so keep in mind that you could see it go up and then see it go down in days and minutes. If you had a bad earnings report or a bad unemployment number, all of these things could have been down 4%, 5%, and Jason would be breaking the laptop in his office. But now Jason's going to be giving us a crazy shout out in his teams. Anyway, so market opens as of now, what we're looking at, 21,765, 1.33%. Deekshant says, I would likely like it to consolidate more before the breakout. Yeah, buddy, a lot of people would, but things don't wait. If it flies, it flies. So 1.3% up on the S&P, 6,000 on the NASDAQ should be touching, on the S&P should be touching any moment. We're at 5995, 21,766 for the NASDAQ. The Dow is up about 360 points, The Russell is up 1.35%. So Russell at the moment, the Russell 2000 is the best performing index at the moment, the small cap index, and rightfully so. Right? Go ahead, man. Just close it. Don't think so much about it. Don't think so much about it. It's a profit, man. At the end of the day, it's a profit. Take it when you can. You don't want to be caught in the eye of the storm if this thing reverses because Trump and Elon forgot to kiss each other. Good night, I meant. Kiss good night. Yeah, the 10-year yield's also up 1.75%. I would be glad actually to see this move happen all the way for these stocks to go in and move into all-time highs and keep breaking out. It would be just against people's mindset. They would just not be able to, and we could literally go all the way to 24,000 before we could even have any form of pullback, just because it would be a rally that nobody expects, and that is usually the rallies you get. Bull markets are always born on pessimism, and they will always die in euphoria, and I can guarantee you we're never close to euphoria. This is something that Franklin Templeton said. All right, or Sir John Templeton was the one that said it. They basically are born out of pessimism, they grow on optimism, and they die out in euphoria. I don't even think we're anywhere close to any form of euphoria at the moment. Let me just drop in and see what Tesla's been doing, because that's something that I'm looking at. Up about 5% for Tesla. That would be a good scenario to see what happens about Tesla, because I know they don't have a call with each other, but I'm pretty sure they might just call up each other. It might not be an official call, it might be an unofficial call, so they don't really need to let the world know about it. What was fascinating is the Russians letting us know that they're not going to be mediating. So guys, just to let everybody know, Russia's not going to solve the issue between Trump and Musk. They let us know that they're not getting involved in this. So that's good. Just having a look at what's happening. The volatility index might be breaking 17 any moment. So I don't know, Jason, I'm just waiting on you to close that position. It's going to be worth it if you're closing it. Anyways, what a great report, in all honesty. Fabulous. Oh, buddy, it's not important, Jason. Not at all important whether it's a big position or not a big position. A position's a position, a win's a win, a profit's a profit. I'm equally as happy when you're booking that profit. I remember you telling me about this, the long position that you had on a few lives before. So if you're making money and we've made money with you, why not? What's the harm? With big, small, it doesn't matter. It's all par for the course. Yeah, you're right, Dikshant. We're at about maybe 50, might be breaking at 58 on a firm as well, up about 3.7%. So there's room all the way to 60, 65, 70. Nothing to stop it at this moment. Like literally nothing at this moment. 142 on the NASDAQ as well. So you might see some intraday pullback maybe on the market, but what's important is to see how the market closes. That would basically give us enough impetus to know whether this can continue into next week, considering we don't have any nonsense going on with all the other guys in this world who don't seem to be getting along these days, right? So just also an update, 9 a.m. Monday to Friday, we're going to be doing this. No more of the 7:30 in the evenings. We're doing this in the morning before market opens. So hit all of those bells and all those other things that you need to, so that you know when I come online. I'm going to try seeing if I can get Nikhil and Sean next time as well. You would have seen them in the other videos that I do. And then some days you guys can join in as well. There you go, Jason. Close 50%. Good job, buddy. Good job. Fabulous. You got to take all your mates from your office out. But at the moment, yeah, 21,747. So you pretty much got a good number at it also. You can just put a stop loss into your entry price, bro, or just keep it a little bit higher than your entry price. You don't need to worry so much. Don't break your head so much on it. Just put it up at entry and then just let it be. Let it keep rolling. If it heads higher, it heads higher. If it doesn't, it comes lower. Stops hit, take your money, leave. Right? And if you really want the money, just close all of it and sleep well at night on Friday. Come back to the casino on Monday. Because this shit is open every week, right? Whether we come or no, it'll open. So this should be fun. Let me also go ahead and show you guys the place where we're working out of today. So let's see, how the hell do I turn this? If I want to show them the place? This one?
Yeah. 3 times.
3 times? Okay, there you go. I think they're showing me, bro. No? Oh yeah, there you go. Check it out, guys. That's the place where today we're working out of. And that's for the unemployment rate at 4.2. If you guys want to say hi to Sean, go ahead and say hi. Okay. So guys, this is it for today. Go ahead, enjoy your time with your family and your weekend. We will catch up on Monday. It's a good market. We're going up. We're going to do these things on Monday to Friday at 9:30. Everyone go ahead and finish your stuff for the weekend. Go ahead and join us on Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Enjoy yourselves. Have fun. Have a good weekend. See, if something crazy happens, that's why I'm saying go ahead and hit the bell, because if anything crazy happens, go ahead and subscribe as well. Anything crazy over the weekend, we're going to come out with a video. We're going to come out live. We're going to solve shit out. Right? Okay. Great job, guys. Take care. Jason, take care. Dikshant, Wage Freedom. See you soon. Take care. Great job. Sean, Sharik, Dikshant. We got Remix 40 saying, okay, so he as well. Sharik's in. I'm just going to take everyone's name because this was a fun one. We went on for quite a while. Wahab was here as well. Matthew as well. So perfect. Okay. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Have fun. Take care. See you later. Take care, guys. Bye. Bye-bye. Take care. Take care, Jason. Enjoy that money, man. Take care.